Okay, so next movie I'm gonna be reviewing is Halloween H20, or most people call it Halloween H2O, uh, which came out in 1998. And this one is supposed to, most people, fans say, is supposed to, well, it is, but is supposed to be the official third sequel in the series. If you cut out, part 3, 4, and 5 and 6. While the Halloween or the Michael Myers franchise 4, 5, and 6, this is supposed to pick up where Halloween 2 left off. And this one is 20 years after the events of the first movie and of the second movie, and it follows Jamie Lee Curtis, or Laurie Strode's character. She's older now. She has a teenage son, and she lives in she's a teacher at a boarding school, and with a she and she went into witness protection. Her name's changed. She's trying to get her life back on track, but she's she has PTSD, and she keeps having flashbacks and nightmares about what happened and of Michael. She's trying to live a normal life. She's trying to take care of her son, but she's very possessive over him. She don't want him to leave the house or the property and all that because of what could happen. What happened to her, and she has a boyfriend and stuff, and she's trying to live a normal life. Of course, Michael finds out where she's at and returns, and he, a lot of weird stuff starts happening, and of course, Michael in every movie has to kill up a group of teenagers, which is the kids a few kids at this boarding school, because these kids, they're going on a class field trip, but of course Jamie Lee Curtis, or Laurie Strode, doesn't want her son to go, so she doesn't sign his permission slip. So his friends find out, so they're like, "Oh, we'll stay too," which is just him and 3 other people. I think his girlfriend, and 2 of his friends. And so they stay back at the house, but they're you know, they're gonna try to throw their own little party and stuff. And of course Michael comes and starts killing them off, and Laurie knows something's weird's going on, so she has to go and stop it. A lot of people, like I said, like this movie. They said it's a return to the Halloween franchise because it brings back Jamie Lee Curtis, and Rick Rosenthal direct. I think it was Rick Rosenthal. No, it was Steve Miner. Yeah, Steve Miner. Rick Rosenthal directed Halloween Resurrection. Never mind, but he also directed Halloween 2. He, but this had like I said, it has a great cast. It has a young Josh Hartnett in it before he got big. He plays Laurie Strode's son. There's another character in it. What's his name? Oh yeah, I forgot Joseph Gordon-Levitt was in it. I forgot about that scene. At the beginning, at the opening of the movie, the nurse from the first movie, when Michael escapes from the mental institution, that nurse that he stole the car from, she returns, and she's living in this house, and there's a bunch of kids, like teenagers, messing around in her house, or messing around, and one of them is played by Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and they like to prank her and stuff, and he breaks into her house to steal some beer, and Michael kills them, and of course he puts them in a chair, and then the nurse comes back to the house, and she sees someone broken in, and there's papers everywhere, about Michael and stuff, and she turns the chair around, and it's Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character, and he has like a freaking like ice skate blade like right in his face like this, like that, and she starts freaking out. Michael comes and starts fucking her up, breaks her, busts the window open, like slits her throat and stuff. I'm like, golly, yeah, Michael's more vicious in this one. Um, so yeah, so it goes back, like I was saying, so then it goes to the boarding school thing. Like I said, it has a return, like that nurse, I think that was actually the original actress from the first movie. They have Jamie Lee Curtis back, then you have, a whole new cast. There's actually a cameo from Janet Leigh, who was Jamie Lee Curtis' mother, and she was famous in Psycho, which she actually drives up to the boarding school in the car from Psycho that she was driving in Psycho. And then I think she actually said we all. No, no, no. She actually says the line from the first Halloween. She says, it's Halloween. I guess everyone's entitled to one gets scared. But yeah, that's what I said. A lot of people like it because, like I said, Jamie Lee Curtis turns. It has the feel of the original Halloween. It has what relies more on suspense, and it was supposed to be the final film to the franchise, but of course that didn't happen. I like Jamie Lee Curtis acting. She has a very vindictive attitude towards her, because she wants to get Michael and wants to end this cycle. There's some of the death scenes are pretty cool. That Joseph Gordon-Levitt, even though that one was off camera, that was pretty cool. The imagery was. The nurse's death was pretty brutal. LL Cool J's in it, but he's not annoying. He's not like Busta Rhymes in Halloween Resurrection. He's actually pretty good in this one, and he actually survives, and it's like one of the heroes of the movie. Yeah, there's one scene that was pretty cool where Josh Hartnett and his girlfriend are trying to escape from Michael. They're like in the courtyard area, and they start running, and Jamie Lee Curtis or Laurie Strode's like, "Come on, come on!" And there's like a gate. There's like the door, and there's like a gate in front of the door, and there's only like this small space between that. And they get into the gate. They close the gate, and Michael comes in, and he starts flicking the knife around like that inside, and you're like worried because you're like, oh my god, he's gonna kill one of them. He's gonna get one of them. And then they finally get him inside, and then Michael, I guess, gets inside the gate, and then like Jamie closes the door, and she turns around, and Michael like staring at. There's like the famous scene where Michael's like outside, and she's like they're just staring at each other. And I know some people are going to have problems with the because there's like 5 different masks in the movie, and one of them's like clearly a CGI mask. Yeah, I don't know what the issue was with the mask, but for some reason they had like 5 different ones, and you could tell they were all different. A lot of people complain about the score. They said it's too operatic, and it shouldn't be like that. And I mean, like, come on, it's supposed to be the last Halloween movie, so it wasn't that bad. Also, there's on the TV, one of the teenagers watching I think Scream 2, because I think Kevin Williamson wrote the script for this. Yeah, he did. And Kevin Williamson, he wrote the Scream movies. And so yeah, there was a nice nod to that. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's a return to the the original, I guess, the original franchise. Yeah, I would highly recommend it. I mean, it doesn't, like, at the ending where Laurie pins Michael up to the tree and then cuts his head off. Like, I don't know how they explained that in part 5. Like, I didn't get it, or not part 5. part 8, Resurrection. But yeah, I mean, they should have just left the series off right here. But anyways, that's my review.